Today is May 30th, 2015. I'm going to take that tape off and I'm going to put a proper terminator on that. Be interesting to see what he did with the conductors inside. I'll film that. Well, there you have it, folks. I sliced open his heat shrink and tape job. Nice. He cut the ground back. You'd think you'd want to cut the other one back, the red or the black. What the hell is that? Anyway, time to fix her property. What a proper terminator looks like. That's the end face cap. That was easier to put on than the heat shrink. And by the way, that heat shrink has no glue. And he's got a splice halfway down. It's actually in between two panels. It's definitely going to get wet. So I'm going to grab a tie wrap and tie wrap that up right there. I don't know how I'm going to fix that splice down there. Here's the problem. I can't get my ladder up in there. Oh, the birds are making some big mess in there. Anyway, that splice is right in between the two panels and it's exposed to weather. And when I took that heat shrink off that other end, it didn't stick to the cable. It's just shrunk over so water can migrate. And that's a belly in the cable. So the water's going to hit that and it's going to go towards that belly and eventually make its way into that heat shrunk up splice there. This is garbage. That's a freaking fire hazard, actually. If that ever gets hot and you got all that kindling there goes my house. Goose Creek Solar is liable. I should show this to Wawanisa and a few other people. Okay, I've got my long ladder on, so maybe I can work with it. I gotta go get my gloves and get this bird's nest out of here. Look at that. I don't know what's inside. I don't know how he joined them together. There's 1,000 watts load going through that. And water is going to get inside that. There's no doubt. Totally illegal. Look at that kindling. Beautiful. Guy's an asshole. I hate his guts. And he refuses to compensate me for the failed building inspection on the garage. I redid all that myself. I should go get my gloves for this. What the hell is it? I don't know if there's any babies in there or not. I think they've flown away already. They're not living in there anymore. They can go build a nest somewhere else. See, Rick, this is one reason why you're supposed to put stuff in a proper box so people's houses don't burn down, you moron. You can see clearly that you get rain and whatnot on top. This pisses me off. I don't know how I'm going to fix that. I got to take two of these panels off to get at that. And I have to undo those end face trunk connectors. He bolted through the removal hole where the removal hole tool is supposed to go to disconnect an inverter if you ever have to replace it. I can't give you a close-up of that. Let me try looking at that from underneath. I didn't get all the nest out, but you see that little green connector there? And those two self-tapping bolts, they're going through the removal hole to disconnect the inverter from that trunk cable, that 240 volt trunk cable. It clearly says right in the manual, do not use that hole for mounting. And he did. I've got to remove all of these, 8 of these, slide that trunk cable over so I can bring them both into a new junction box. I'm going to extend this pipe here, get rid of that junction, terminate that end, extend right where that 90 is, go this way, and then 90 up in behind. I don't know which panel yet, but it's going to be behind to protect it from the weather a little bit. You can see what I'm up against. I can't get a ladder in there, so I have to take all these panels off. He's going to get the bill for that too. Does that look like tampering? You betcha. I tampered with everything that Goose Creek Solar had done to my house almost, except for the mounting system on the south wall, which I'm going to have to tamper with now. So I got to take those panels off to fix that trunk cable. I tampered with those rails. I tampered with everything. Everything was documented. I took your 4 panels off where your 3 lag bolts out of the 8 had missed. I just happened to do an upgrade while I was at it and added another 17 panels. Yeah, I tampered with your 240 volt wire that was taped up and heat shrunk, dangling, banging against the wall in the wind. That bird's back. He's pissed off because his nest is gone. Come and say it to my face, Dunsmore. Rick Dunsmore, that's what your name is now with me. Come and say it to my face that I might have tampered with your system. Yeah, I tampered with it. You're lucky I did. What kind of an idiot are you? Of course I tampered with it. You know, you're lucky I did before my house burnt down or before those 4 panels on the garage blew off and killed somebody. Because you would have had a much larger lawsuit, you son of a bitch. Yeah, I tampered with it. I fixed it. Something you should have done when you installed it and charged me $5.75 a watt. Hurry up and get your panels because the American dollar's going up. $1.75 a watt. Yeah. They dropped, what, 100%? I got them for 73 cents a watt, buddy. You're a thief. You are a fucking thief. Goose Creek Solar Inc. should be renamed Flying Duck Company. Flying Duck because they fly like a duck. They fly at night too.